part one in my series about my IVF journey. Let's start from the beginning, okay? I have PCOS, I have endometriosis, I was very overweight as well. I don't know if that played a part, but I want to mention that, okay? I went on birth control when I was younger, like teen age, okay? Briefly. It never worked out for me. I hated it. And it was recommended to me because of my pain that I was in because of the PCOS and the endometriosis. I have had so many surgeries and I was still in so much pain, bleeding so much. With my husband, we didn't really use protection. Okay, I'll leave it at that. Like, I kind of knew that I couldn't really get pregnant, and, he knew that too. And that's just, did we take a gamble? Yeah. But for years, like, nothing would happen ever. And it was kind of like, if it happens, it happens. And I knew nothing was going to happen. So take that as you may. But when we finally decided, okay, we're ready to be parents, I knew that I was going to have to see a specialist. My gynecologist just kind of let me know, like, yeah, you guys are going to have to see a specialist when you're ready. So we decided to start having the serious conversations and taking the next step. He was somebody that specialized in endometriosis patients, PCOS, people that struggled to conceive. So he recommended going the IUI route at first, which is the first step before you go and do IVF. So we're like, okay, cool. I think we did IUI 3 times. It failed each time. And what IUI is, I Google it to get the actual real translation for it. But basically they take the sperm, they put it in you have to show up to the doctor's office with a sample. I'm not going to discuss how that happens, but you bring the sample, they take it in some little spinny machine thing, whatever they do with it. Then they take the sperm and they put it in a little syringe and then they put it into the woman. Basically, like, they're helping the sperm get to where it needs to get. We did that 3 or 4 times, I think 3, and it failed each time, which I had a feeling it would. He said, okay, let's move forward with IVF. So he recommended me to a specialist, an IVF specialist. So we went to this IVF doctor, we discussed everything, and we came up with a plan. It's very intense. It's not like you just show up and you're like, I'm ready to have a baby. It's like plans are made, things are talked about. There's a lot of options and different ways to do things. So we went to so many appointments. And let me just say this. If you are going through the IVF process, bring someone with you to these appointments. If your spouse, your partner cannot make it, bring your mom, bring your dad, bring your brother, sister, friend, whoever. They throw so much information at you. It's very tolling and it's very difficult sometimes to sit through and answer questions, ask questions. What did they just say? You hear words you never heard before. There's a lot of things that happen, and sometimes, like, it's really hard to just understand everything. So having a second set of ears there that can really just, like, shut up and listen and be there for you to absorb the information and go over it when you're done, that's something that is imperative, in my opinion. The first thing that they made me do was go get a hysterosalpingogram. I think that's how you say it. Basically, you go to, I think it was like a Zwanger-Pesiri radiology kind of place where they, like, take x-rays and whatever. Go through this procedure where you lay down on a table, they shoot dye through, like, your fallopian tubes, and then they look at things on a machine. Basically, it's like cleaning out the pipes to make sure that nothing is, like, residual in there and, like, everything's ready to go. Yes, it is painful. I took multiple Tylenol and I was still screaming in pain. My mom was in the waiting room. She heard me screaming and crying. It was quick, but that shit was painful. Okay. I had that done. That was fine. Everything was good. And then we made a plan to start IVF in that upcoming summer. It was like end of April at this time. And then in May, I found out I was pregnant. All on my own. Found out I was pregnant. No IVF needed. I just got pregnant naturally. And we were shocked. I'm going to leave the next part for part 2 because this video is already long enough, but come back for part 2 to see what else happens.